YouTube, Sandy Frank here. This week's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about this past week or so, and that is the PSAs getting tighter and tighter on their grading over the years, and just like these Hobby Talk videos, I try to do them to help my core audience that watches the videos and stuff like that. And this one's going to be pretty important because the prices of PSA graded Pokemon cards right now is very high. It's very expensive, and it's getting to the point where PSA 9s are starting to, like the older stuff, like in like the black and white era, X and Y era, maybe even some of the Sun and Moon era. PSA 9s are now getting to be very expensive, especially for some of the rarer cards. So I wanted to do a video talking about being careful about buying old certs. Now, the certs I'm talking about are the certs that are of PSA slabs that are before they had the Lighthouse. It's called the Lighthouse slab. So the Lighthouse slab, I believe, is what this. You have this hologram here, and you have this hologram here on the front, and you also have this scannable QAR code, and a lot of places are wanting to buy Pokemon graded cards, but they are saying we're not interested in the PSA cards if they don't have Lighthouse labels. So let me show you Lighthouse, what they're talking about. So, and I'll show you a good reason why they're not wanting to buy some of these older slabs. So we're going to use some examples. These are from my own personal collection. So, okay. See, if you'll notice, it just has this there, and on the back of the slab, it does not have the Lighthouse. Okay, and this is, as you can see, is a 25 label here. Okay, I'm gonna go find the back of the card here. A good image of the back of one of these. Okay, so you can see here in this picture, you notice the back does not have that that Lighthouse on the back, and there's no QAR code on the back. Now here's a problem that I'm seeing. So we're gonna go back to this one. As you'll notice, this is a awesome card, Mega Gengar EX. It got a PSA 9 back when they did this, when they graded this. So this is a PSA 9 now. The centering and everything on the front looks great, but when you go to the back of the card, you'll notice all this whitening in the corner. This is not the most clear picture, but there's definitely a white spot there, and a pretty big white spot there. And then we'll go look. You can see a couple little white ticks in that corner. Let me see if I can find another example. This is the same card. Yeah, this corner down here, definitely a little bit of whitening in the corner. You see along the edge here, a couple little white dots on the edge of the card. There's another one. There's a better picture of that corner. Some definite whitening, and this is a PSA 9. And I'm sure you guys know that, like, I just grabbed this one as an example. PSA is so much tougher to get on their grades right now. Like, to get a PSA 10, the card has to be just so perfect. And even as a 9, this card got a PSA 9. I've looked at it over and over again. I think it is a little bit off-center, but just from experience, if you have a tiny little white dot, even like that you can barely see it. Very tough to even see that tiny little white dot in that corner. But just the tiniest little white dot in a corner. The other corners look pretty good, but I think what got this card is actually centering. But for an example, a tiny little white dot like that can bump you down from a PSA 10 to a PSA 9. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I were to crack this amazing Mega Gengar ultra rare secret rare card, crack that out of the slab and try to regrade it? It's going to hopefully get an 8. Like, it's definitely not getting a 9 with these white nicks and stuff in the corners. Just, I'm not saying that there aren't really nice cards in these older slabs, but what I am saying is the grading standards are way tougher now. And a PSA 9 with the recent PSA slabs is a much stronger 9 than these older PSA slabs, especially from this era. We'll look at another example. This is a Dialga from Phantom Forces. This got a PSA 9. Again, the old label. The card looks amazing. It looks really good on the front. But you zoom in to these corners, and again, there's quite a bit of whitening there in that corner. I think that's not on the card, but this is definitely on the card. Little nick there. You have a couple little nicks there. This right here is my sleeve. It's not a part of the slab. This little line across here. But look, that is a big chip in the upper edge of the card. Very obvious. And there's some more whitening in that corner. Several white spots. So if you tried to grade this, you would probably be very happy just to get an 8 on this. And yet, back during this era, this was good enough to get a PSA 9. That, again, is probably not on the card there. That corner is kind of hard to tell if there's anything going on. But, yes, this got a PSA 9. No way that card gets a PSA 9 if I were to crack that out and try to grade it again. That's just another picture of that spot. Okay, now here is a Lighthouse label. Okay, as you can see, there's the Lighthouse there. I'm just calling it Lighthouse. I don't really see a lighthouse in it, but that is the newer label. This is from the 4.9 era. Now, back when they did these, they were pretty tough on grading, but I think they're even tougher now. But this was a awesome card from Generations. This is a PSA 9. Now you can tell just by looking at. Okay, so here's that again. This is the newer style slab. You still get once in a while a little nick, a little bit of whitening in that corner. Maybe a couple tiny little white dots on the edge there. There is some whitening in that corner. Now this is more typical of what I would say is more like a PSA 9. I don't even know if this would get a PSA 9 today. But, oh yeah, there's definitely some whitening in that corner. But, yeah, I don't think this could even get a PSA 9. But I did notice when I was grading stuff back during this time that it was pretty tough to get PSA 10s, but nothing like it is now. So when you're buying these older slabs, guys, try to get very detailed pictures of the corners on the back, because they were not very strict with that sort of stuff like they are now, where you have one tiny little nick in a corner and it bumps it down to a PSA 9. Yeah, PSA 9s in this era do not compare at all with the PSA 9s of these older slabs. Yeah, like, so just keep that in mind when you're buying. So they always say, buy the card, not the grade. I know there's a lot of people that really want to get that PSA 10 of something in their collection, but also know that if you're buying one of these older graded slabs, that the standards just were not the same. And you can see this time and time again with older graded Pokemon cards, especially by looking at those corners and the edges on the back. They're just way more strict with that sort of thing now. And, you know, things change over time, but I think, and I've been saying this, don't know if I've done any videos about it, but I think the certs that start with the, you know, the 1.0 whatever, or start with the 1 now, the newer, like they're grading so many cards, we're now up to this number of cert. These are much more strictly graded. I think they should hold a premium over the old, like a PSA 9 with this one, with the 100 something million cert should hold a pretty significant premium against the really old certs of PSA 9s, because they're just not in the same universe as far as condition. You have to really earn PSA 9s, and people have been noticing that PSA is really tough to get good grades on cards, and you know, it's probably the cards are getting graded more like they really should get graded. It's just maybe if you grade for a long time, you're thinking, man, I'm getting bad graders and all this and that, but you know, it's just, I think PSA has gotten tougher over the years, and they're definitely getting tougher nowadays. I mean, it's just natural when they're grading so many cards. They're getting better and better and better at doing it. They're probably utilizing more and more technology and being able to spot all these little flaws in the cards. Where before, I think a lot of the PSA 9s and stuff were kind of like built a lot on eye appeal, which I think they need to do a little more eye appeal. Like, sometimes you can just see a card, okay, this one tiny little nick is keeping it from getting a 10. It looks beautiful. It should get a 10. Like, eye appeal should come into it. But I think eye appeal was a little too far into it back in the old days, as you can see with some of those corners and edges on those older slabs. So anyway, thank you for watching. Guys, what do you think about grading? I know a lot of people just say grading is just a scam, but it really does add value to your cards. And if you're buying, like getting into cards now, and you're seeing, ooh, there's a PSA 9, Dialga Secret Rare card from Phantom Forces, but it's an old label. It's just good to know that some of those old labels are not at the same quality as like a newer PSA 9. So you should keep that in the back of your mind when you're looking at buying graded Pokemon cards, or graded any type of cards. They're all gonna, it's not just Pokemon. Sports cards, very tough to get PSA 10s, like 2024 tops. Incredibly tough to get PSA 10s on that set. Where, you know, maybe some of the older sets, they were just handing out 10s like sweet candy. A lot of it is the quality of the cards are not as good, but also part of it is PSA is much stricter on grading. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos later.